Hello, this is Jorge Cardenas, and I welcome you to the second video in the series Healing Addiction is Fast and Easy. In the first video, I introduced you the creative force, this force that has been ruling your life and that it has been causing effects that unfortunately without your control. And so the results, or what makes up your reality, sometimes was positive and sometimes was negative. And since you did not know that this force existed, it became difficult to control the day-to-day situations that you find yourself in, i.e. addiction. But just to refresh your memory, the creative force has 4 steps: thought, word, action, and outcome. I first became aware of this force when I had a weight problem and I was weighing near 240 pounds. I want to point out that at age 45, when I was 240 pounds, I was already a physician. And I had been interested in weight loss ever since my 20s because for my whole life it has been bothering me, and it was my job as a physician to teach my patients how to lose weight. I want you to know that I was familiar with the chemical process and the physical process and the nutrition processes that take place, and I knew about nutrition, about calories, about exercise, about physiology. And so I possess all the knowledge of weight loss, but the process continued to abate me and prevented me from a successful life. What I did not realize is that this force had been present since the very beginning of my life, and when it was revealed to me, then life became much simpler to control. But in the first lecture, I pointed out that everything in life, absolutely everything, from this chair or this vest or my phone or the desk, everything, absolutely everything in life begins as a thought. The second thing that I want to point out from the first lecture is that the thought is equal to the outcome. If I think I'm going to make a chair, I can almost predict that I am going to end up with a piece of furniture that would allow someone to sit, whether it has 3 legs, 4 legs, or 5 legs, it will serve the function of a chair. The next thing that I want you to remember is that the engine of the process lies on the number of times that you repeat the thought. And fortunately and unfortunately, our brain has a tremendous ability to generate thoughts. And since up to now they have been out of control, your life appeared almost unpredictable to the point that we tend to believe in luck or faith, not realizing that you have absolute control over your future. So, the next concept that I want to introduce is, I'm calling it the Cardenas Law, but it's really just to make you aware of this principle that is going to be making it all possible. And the principle is very simple. The principle is that the brain will only allow you to choose those actions that fulfill the thought. The first example that I want to tell you is when I was obese. I used to say, I am so fat. That would be the thought. And I constantly repeated and complained about it, I'm so fat, I'm so fat. Based on the repetition of that thought, one could conclude that I end up gaining weight. And I have proof pictures to show that I was unhealthy. What I did not realize was the action step. Because whenever I was given the choice between eating an apple or eating a brownie, I was always inclined to eat the brownie. And after I ate the brownie, I would complain, why do I do this? Why do I keep on choosing poorly, even though I possess the knowledge that what I was doing was wrong? And so I want you to realize that one chooses the brownie because it completes the thought, I am so fat. Let me give you another example. If I repeat all the time, I'm so fat, I'm so fat, I'm so fat, the outcome is that I'm going to gain weight. But if I have to make the choice between exercising and not exercising, I want you to realize that not exercising fulfills the thought, and my brain will only make me choose the no exercise choice. And this is the interesting thing about addiction, is that up to now, all addicts know that what they are doing is wrong. But what causes the addiction is that they are unable to stop. They have the knowledge of how much harm they have caused. They have in their brain all the things that would keep a sane person from using. But what I want you to realize, and what the purpose of the second video is for you to realize that the action step is mandated, is obligated, and you have no choice but to choose based on the thought. And it is the thought that commands the action. I want to give you a third example because I want to make sure that this is very clear in your brain. Remember, I want you to repeat it all the time. Your brain only allows the action or the choice that completes the thought. So I want to give you another example, and then I'm going to use some of the thoughts that are running through your head. But imagine that I repeat constantly, I am so poor, I am broke, I have no money. You can say it in many forms, it means the same thing. We can conclude from the process of the creative force that the outcome is that you are going to have no money at the end. But the funny thing about the action is that if I have to buy, let's say, a pair of tennis shoes, and I am given the choice between the $20 pair of shoes from Walmart and the $200 Nikes from another sports store, my brain is only going to allow me to choose the $200 tennis shoes because that choice takes my money away faster. It almost seems illogical, but that's what was happening that's what continues to happen to most of you. So I want to use an example. Imagine that I say, I am an alcoholic. If I repeat I'm an alcoholic, the outcome is that I am going to be an alcoholic. Now when it comes to the choice of actions, whether to drink or not to drink, the question would be, what choice fulfills the thought, I'm an alcoholic? And I can tell you that you will be drinking. And the reason you will be drinking, the reason you feel this incredible desire to use the substance that has been killing you is because you have been repeating the thought, I'm an alcoholic. Now, imagine that I use a different thought. If we use the example, I am a loser, and that's the thought. And a lot of people that deal with addiction use this thought, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, and I repeat it. In the first video we learned that the outcome would be that you would become a person that society would consider of very little significance, a loser. Someone that cannot be trusted, someone that is not responsible, or that responsibility is not expected from. When it comes to the action of whether to use pills or not to use pills, using the pills is the only action that will fulfill the thought, and therefore I am a loser will obligate you to take the pills. Now, please understand that this thought, I am a loser, it is being repeated mostly in your brain, and therefore you would have control over it. Let me give you another example of what I'm trying to teach you, which we call the Cardenas law. And again, I label it the Cardenas law mainly to tell you that your brain will only let you choose the actions that fulfill the thought. Imagine that I say, I am going to make a table. Now, immediately, there is a picture of what you know to be a table appears in your brain. In the Eastern philosophy, they will call it the third eye, but it's an image that appears in your head. Now, if I consistently repeat or intentionally repeat, I'm going to make a table, I'm going to make a table, I'm going to make a table, and I keep on repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, whether by mouth, by orally, or by drawing, or by writing, I'm going to make a table. And I have to choose between the materials that I am going to be buying. And the choice would be between well, this will be an interesting example, but let's say that the example that I use is I'm going to make a wooden table. A wooden table, the picture immediately comes to my brain. And if I have to choose between metal or wood, my brain is going to let me choose the wooden because I have said I'm going to make a wooden table. So again, just as a conclusion of this video, I want you to realize that your brain only allows you to choose those actions that complete your thought. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, if you require further explanation, please don't hesitate to contact us through the Facebook page, Healing Addiction is Fast and Easy. Thank you.